Welcome to Grit and Gravitas with Ann and Annie, bringing you savvy, spirited stories of success. We're excited to deliver 30 minutes of inspiration, impact, and goodness. We'll be bringing you guests and friends from around the country who have very special work and personal journeys. I'm Ann Deeter Gallaher, your co-host with Annie Carnathan, and this is Grit and Gravitas. Let's go! Okay, Annie, so you start us off by saying what kind of a club we are. Do you want to say that for us?
We are the Badass Women.
I love that.
Badass
I think we need
G&G.
shirts for Christmas, or we're recording in December, so we're
talking about our cocktail party for
need-
past guests.
Yes, and
Invite only to the tribe.
that's one of the benefits.
We throw a mean soiree
Grit and Gravitas.
for all of our guests to thank you, and now Leanne gets an invitation.
We love the digital connections and the social community we've built, but we take that to a next level, which I think is one of the most important things, is we meet in person. And that really cements us as a group, and we become tapped into helping others through Grit and Gravitas. But I digress. We have an amazing guest with us, and I want to say, I'm going to get it probably wrong because we're recording in December. I think Leanne Via, you are 104th. This will be our 104th episode.
Oh, that's really exciting.
So, yeah,
I think we
Congratulations.
still 104 for Tony, maybe
then
105.
we're 105. Then Leanne's 105.
We're just racking up.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. Look at you guys.
So-
Setting them up and knocking them
right.
down.
We're going to start off, Leanne Via, senior loan originator with Fairway Mortgage. See, I got it.
You
I got
did
it.
good.
I
You
did
did
it.
really good.
I did
You
it.
aced it.
We want to get into your backstory, Leanne, and I've known you for years, but I love serving with you on the Salvation Army. Do you see a common link here, Annie? And I see you in a professional capacity and a nonprofit passion capacity of where you love to serve, and I've long admired you and your work in the community. We're going to turn the page back. Let's start with, where did your career start? Like your first stepping stone, and then lead us up to today at Fairway.
Okay, so it's a windy path.
Good. We love windy paths.
Yes.
We love windy paths.
So I went out of high school, no college. I worked at the Patriot News. And,
Did you?
Oh yeah, I did.
What did you do
customer
there?
service. So I can tell you all the zip codes in there. It's one of my little known talents.
Fun facts.
Yeah, exactly. And I went into banking after that, and from banking.
So like a teller banking, or
I
what?
started as a teller and then became a manager.
Wow.
And then I got out of that. I was a stay-home mom for a little bit. And
Ooh, nice,
when my
nice.
marriage fell apart, I ended up going into debt collections. So I was trying to get the money back before I was giving it away.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have ideas of who that persona is that's in debt collecting. What led you to that?
I needed a job.
Well, there you go.
I needed a job. And one
Yeah.
of the gentlemen that worked part-time at the bank worked at the collection agency. And he told me, he ran the collections department. He said, if you ever need a job, seek me out. And that was years
Wow.
later. So I reached out to Richie and he got me a job. And so I was a single mom. I needed to...
You're probably the sweetest, softest voice in debt collections.
I do think I had a unique perspective on
Yeah.
it. The clients wanted their money back. The people that owed the money generally didn't want to owe money.
Sure.
So it was trying to bring the people together
Yeah.
so everybody could be happy. So I really did. I had a soft tone. I sat at one point with a group of women. We were in a pod of 4, and I started medical collections, and I cried, and I couldn't do it because it was horrible. Like, nobody plans to go out and break their leg, right?
Yeah, right.
So, and then they have a ton of medical bills, and these women were tough. I admired them. They were tough. They had their lines down. They were good. And I'm like, are you sure you can't pay? I mean, this.
Can you give me anything?
I can maybe make a payment for you. I'll call you back shortly.
It's a good faith effort.
Yeah, so it was really a great experience. I learned a lot. And I got a really broad depth of credit understanding as a result of that.
That's good.
My mom needed some financing, and she didn't want to go to her local bank guy. And I said, well, my son's daycare was a couple doors down from a mortgage company. And I said, well, why don't you check those people? They would send coloring paper up. Great advertising, right? So send coloring on old flyers.
At the
and-
daycare.
Yeah, they would send it up for the kids to color on their old flyers. And I said, they'll help people. And my mom said, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I said, oh, you got to do it. I'll do it for you. So I was her intermediary.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that was her loan officer at the time was also one of the managers. And he said, I think you'd be really good at this. And so I kicked it around, and about a year or so after we started talking, I went with that company, and about 6 months later, they got purchased by somebody else, and they went out of business. I went back to collections, and one day I just had a really bad day at the collection agency. The guy that I worked for, John, was starting his own company, and we talked for about another year, and I had a really bad day at the collection agency at one time, and I said, I'm done. I'm coming into mortgages. I knew nobody. I knew nothing. I'm not super outgoing naturally, which was weird in a way, right?
Yeah, I don't see you. I see you as very outgoing.
It's how
you see yourself.
Yeah, it took a while because networking was brand new to me. I didn't know anything about that. And so it was a journey. And so that was, May was 23 years that I've been in the mortgage industry.
Wow.
So now I get to give the money away. Much more fun.
Never to return to debt collection.
But what I'm fascinated by was your entire career was people.
Yeah.
Right. Integrating.
Love people,
Communicating.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes with mortgages, you can't give them good news.
It's true. Yeah.
And that's a balance between what everyone believes is really a lifelong dream, in my opinion.
I agree.
To own a home, balanced with, you can't find a mortgage for everyone. And so did the collection part of it, which anyone would perceive as not really being a positive conversation,
yeah,
right?
It could be.
Right. No, right. And I go to how personalized you are to me and how that would matter in a process, right? Because it sounds mechanical, it sounds forced, but John is so much a people person.
Yeah.
And in that light, you would want to capitalize on the people skills. And did all those experiences, Leanne, leading up to it really benefit you?
Oh, 100%.
In the process.
Yeah. And I was also a bartender at one point. So that,
totally
you have
people.
the psychological
I love
aspect
bartenders.
of that, right?
Debt collector to bartender.
So,
You got the
bartenders
yeah.
are so
depth of
interesting.
despair.
I was well-rounded. Yeah. So delivering bad news doesn't have to be, so a lot of times what I'll tell people is it's not now, but it doesn't mean that it's no forever, right? Like this is just a temporary
gotta figure out when
yeah,
you can make the mortgage.
we really try to give people
timing.
Yeah, we try to give them a path forward, no
Good.
matter if the no is not right now, then when can it be? And we try to give them a plan and get something in place.
great.
And if they want, we'll walk along that journey with them.
Mr. Right or Mr. Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a way to
I just heard an interesting statistic this week, which I was shocked. You probably won't be. You probably will be, Annie. That the average age of the first-time homeowner in America now is age 40.
Yes, I did read that. I'm with you. I was shocked.
Now,
so
what
it's
do you
increased.
Which
see
to
that
me
play
is not a
out?
good thing.
No.
No.
I mean,
In essence, if that's the defining point for the American dream, like to acquire something, your first home, you can start your family, you can, stop paying rent or whatever, age 40, like that's...
Yeah. So
Are you seeing that or no?
yeah. So I would 100%. We're seeing an increase in generally the average age of the first-time home buyer. Our specific area, not as much. I would say we're under that on average. There's a couple of things going on. One of them is home ownership isn't viewed quite the same way by some of the younger generation.
The younger generation.
Some of them don't really want to own a home. They
Yeah.
want to be free to go where they want to go. They want to do what they want to do.
Travel and not be...
They don't want to. They want to be tied down by
Yeah.
real estate. So that's one aspect of the other. Of course, the unfortunate side of things is affordability. The home prices keep climbing. The interest rates. In 21 we were, in the mid 2s, low 3s. And now we're in the mid 6s. So it's as far as interest rates go. So that's a very different perspective for people to come in. Now, the
Right.
people that are the new buyers that are coming into the market are fine with the rates because they don't know any different.
Right.
They're disappointed because they've heard the news, of course, that the rates have gone up. But the challenge, one of the big challenges, we have folks that I think it's 50% of homeowners right now have a mortgage rate under 4%. So they don't necessarily want to make a move because
Right.
They don't want to go up to 6.
they don't want to go to 6
and pay someone else.
Yes, yeah. So it's causing a big inventory problem.
I think I mentioned this in another podcast. Our first mortgage.
In 9th grade or 10th? Did you start talking about that in
This
9th
was-
or 10th grade?
Yeah, this was a couple years after that. Was 10.25.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't really, I mean, that's insanely high. But it just,
But it wasn't.
It was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's all relative.
Yeah.
And then, when we refinanced, it went down to like 15 years and then 10 years. I don't know. We got it to an outrageously low 3% or whatever back in the time. But I just think now my heart goes out to the young couples. If you're really trying to make it, and that's your, the biggest step of your American dream, that's tough. So you got to have family to help, or you've got to, move more out rurally to achieve that.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that. Some families have decided that they want to pass on the generational wealth before they passed on.
Well, that's an option.
So
Yeah.
they're gifting
Yeah.
monies
Yeah.
towards home purchases, which is a great way. I mean, real estate is a fantastic way to
Right.
build wealth.
Right.
So then that's a great way for families to recognize that is to give the gift in advance of leaving the earth. They get a
Yeah.
chance to see their kids enjoying
Yeah,
their
that's
home.
a great
and-
idea.
And
Walker's not married yet, so you can't.
oh my goodness, we gotta let him graduate college first. Soon.
One step at a time here.
Hey, mama, come on, mama. But what when I see Leanne, right? There's just this radiance about you. It's just it's giving, it's kindness, and I know we both all three of us walk in significant faith. And when I think about home ownership, I went to an SNL when I was 20. I was still at Shippensburg.
Oh my gosh,
I rode
savings
by
and
a
loan,
neighborhood
did we?
close to my mom, and I was like, I'm going to build a house there. And went in. It took, and I say
And
this
you
all the
did
time.
that early. How old were
Ta-
you?
20. It took one person to believe in me. And my mom says, wait a minute, you're selling radio commercials? I don't even understand that. What do you mean you don't know what you make every week? What is going to be in your check? How in the world can you pay for a house? I mean, this is that divide.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know, but I know I can wake up every morning and go sell something. Like, Mom, like, there's no limits. Like, it's just, I'm going to go sell stuff, Mom. I got this. And so I went to my brother, and I remember my brother, I said, Bobby, could I please borrow this? And I'll pay it in 3 months. My mom was like, pay it in 3 months? You don't even know what you're like. And so, but the SNL guy said, I'm going to get this done for you if it kills me. And
Wow.
I said, thank you for believing me. I was still at Shippensburg. It was just crazy in retrospect. But I thought, Leanne, I needed to own something versus paying someone else's rent.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so what
absolutely.
is the really gratifying part to you when you're able to help people achieve that? What gratitude and fulfillment does that give you? Because I think it's so synonymous with who I think you are.
It's amazing, right? I get to change lives every day.
Oh, that's
It
okay.
is
Business vitamin. Find a career where you can change lives. And it's, we think of the world of finance. That's not really what we're thinking right away.
It's the sizzle. It's not the steak.
But you're able to sit.
That's it,
Yeah.
You're able to sit and hear these stories of young couples and figure out how can you. We talked about this before. So if it's not today, how could we get you tomorrow to where you need to be? So walk us through some of those. Do you become emotionally invested with your clients? How does that work when they're coming to you?
Yeah, we call them our Team Via family. So
Nice.
they are when we come to them, we have what we call our discovery call, and the message that goes after that is welcome to the Team Via family.
That's
so
cool.
so
Got a
we
little chill.
I know.
like they're very important to us. We have one of our lines is, every loan has a story, every story has a family, and every family matters. So it's
That's
really
cool too. Every loan has a family. Every family has a story. Every story matters.
We give every house a home.
Yeah,
that's
so it's really
nice.
cool. Like they're
Yeah.
very important to us. And this time of the year, we have we try to engage them as much as we can. We have a pay it forward campaign that we do. So what we do is we'll send out a little mailer and it has $1 in it, and we ask them to just pay it forward. So, and then we ask them to share the stories with us, and we enter
So
them
like buy
into,
coffee for someone or go do something.
Yeah, and then some folks get their kids involved. It can be a lot of fun. And then we'll enter anybody who shares a story. We'll enter them in, and we'll do a $50 drawing to a charity of their choice. So it's just a way to this time of year, right? There's a lot of gratitude and
for anyone, Leanne, that's ever gotten a mortgage with you. Or that year? Or
almost. I think this year we had over 1,100 that we sent out.
Oh my gosh.
Because my thing for that is, and someone said this to me the other day, like out of nowhere, he started talking about my handwritten cards of just a couple sentences. And I'm the first to say I don't do 18 a week anymore, but for years and years and years, I did a minimum of 18 a week. I don't know where I got that number, but that's what I did. And
that is a weird number.
It is, right?
And just a lot of stamps and cards.
It just people hearing from me. I think we have a tendency to underestimate just that you thought of me. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how inclusive, like no matter when that happened or what that was, you're still thinking of them. Including them and being gracious and
they absolutely matter to us. We want them to feel like family. We want them when they have questions. We want them to reach out when they have family that has questions. I've done legacy lending, right, where I've done grandparents, parents, and children.
That's cool. You know, it's cool enough really to be doing legacy lending. Yeah,
really cool. So it is amazing. And when they go through trials and tribulations, sometimes we hear from them death, divorce. So we want to be there when they need us. Yeah.
Oh, that's
through all those life transitions.
the life cycle.
Yeah.
And that again, Ian, is parallel and congruent with Leanne's volunteer commitment and what's on your heart.
Thank you.
So many of those same things. And when you can do that for a living, right? That's to me how you know it's the right profession or job or whatever, when you can be that meaningful in both.
I feel very blessed. I get it every day. We change lives in the office, and then as a result of changing lives in the office, we get to change lives outside of the office, and that's
awesome.
We have that,
and you're able to serve because you guys are deeply embedded in service to others in the community, and we're grateful.
It's hugely important
for
to
that.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for our company, I love that we do well by doing good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have never remotely seen a company that tithes the way Universal Media does. And that's important to me. Yeah. It's not my company. I mean, I'm an employee, but wow, the pride and the significance of doing that is extraordinary.
You guys show up large in the community.
Yeah. Exactly.
Both of you guys are titans in the community, both of you.
Thank you. And it's just
important. I like that term, you're a titan in the community. That's it.
I like it.
Yeah, you are too. I'm talking about you too. You are. You know you are. Stop.
No. Ann and Annie.
Yeah.
We got it, girl.
A squared. Powering it up. Let's go.
Power up. Exponential.
Leanne, what would you tell your younger self? Like you did have a lot of twists and turns, which I think that's a business vitamin, is that has enriched your career to land where you're at. And I just think the debt collection, sometimes like we have a vision of ourselves, and it's good to get sidetracked because it forces us to learn different skills that will come around and help us. But
that's true.
What would you tell your younger self?
I would say do the hard sooner.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
business vitamin, do the hard sooner.
Yeah, it's easy to stay behind and not step out and not challenge yourself. And God gives us all gifts, and the sooner we use and realize those, the more that we're serving Him. So I think that's really important that we get out there and lean into the community. Women lifting women up is so important too.
Well, we're all that's kind of our Kool-Aid here.
Well, amen.
We drank it. That's kind of.
And if it's a relationship two people are committed to, doesn't matter in what context. Spouses, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, daughters, whatever, right? Everyone knows when there's a pain point or conflict in the relationship.
Right.
People that owe money know they owe money. And to your point, they know they owe it. What's the solution? And we is always better than I. And this too shall pass for them in some way, shape, or form. And so the context with which you say we, need to resolve this, it changes the dynamic immediately. And then it becomes, does this person want to work that out? And I feel like that's a relationship to a T. If you don't use words, right, and you don't do the hard and you don't express the hard, it has a tendency to sort of linger and get bigger. And then at some point becomes insurmountable because you're sort of nowhere near where you need to be. So that approach to me is why you're so special.
Well, it's the opposite
In part
approach
now.
to those who find themselves in debt collection. If they had done the hard first. So kind of, yours is kind of like a ministry too, Leanne, where you're talking, individuals or families through one of the worst experiences of their life. Because, elongating that process can really harm your future. If you don't pay back your debts, it's going to...
There are consequences.
Yeah,
absolutely.
they're severe, but you didn't get in that situation overnight. So I think someone like you, I could see, having a softer tone or giving them maybe a sense of hope that, okay, we can start today and this is how small we can go or whatever. You will get out of this situation. I think that's, really hope in a experience of despair I'm sure they're having.
Yeah. I mean, hope is so important, right? We all know that. And that's the we is so important. As you said, Annie, it's when we come together, we can get things done.
Yeah.
If we stay separate, then, there's
Hope is
so
the
much
meaning
work.
of life. It gets people through a lot of darkness. And I want to give a shout out to Leanne, and she's the epitome of why we don't do mortgages online.
Oh, totally.
Why we
totally.
don't.
Yes.
I mean, no, why we don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
mortgages in a factory. We don't want mortgages for some bunch of suits, in a room judging, right?
Yeah.
And
Thank
not
you.
actually having conversations. And so might it be more convenient? Might it be, but then you miss out on Leanne. And that's the priceless part of it. And I will say about that in your life, like it's important that we communicate
Acknowledge
with
that.
people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And
right.
that's again where your spirit, I think, transcends any of the factory mortgage.
Thank you. I appreciate
places.
that.
And
Yeah, it's a personal thing. If you're getting your mortgage pre-approval in 5 minutes, you don't have a pre-approval,
It's just a sticky part to rope you in.
It is. Exactly.
And let the nightmare begin.
Well, and
I haven't experienced that, but I can intuit that that's what happens.
It's very
right
true.
there.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And it's such personal information, right?
oh
Yeah.
my
That
word.
you're discussing
Yeah.
with someone. So.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of information you have to put down for a mortgage is, you're kind of laid naked in front of someone financially.
Especially if you've had issues and
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
It's funny you say that because that's sometimes we'll tell people that we can sense the hesitation and we'll say, hey, look, you're just going to get financially naked in front of us. Let's just get it over with. Let's just have
People
some fun
don't
with
love
this.
that.
I dig that. I think that's saucy.
Let's just get it over with.
That's why
There's no
she's
secrets
badass.
here.
No, and
Yes,
that's a
that's
good point. Like there aren't any secrets.
No,
the numbers are the
it's all
numbers
gonna
are the
come out.
numbers.
It's all going to come out.
And I think maybe that's a lesson to our younger listeners. Like really make good decisions. Find the Leannes in the lending business that would help guide you so you don't end up in what her early career was, the debt collection, Make, and we've had a couple finance, bank and credit union CEOs as guests, which have shared amazing advice. It's such an important component of your future. We love purpose and we love passion, but if you don't have the financial part of your life straightened out, you can go off track really quick and be hard to right the ship again.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And think about if Leanne can approach debt collection that way, which on its face, there's nothing good about that, right? But approach it like that. Think about what will happen for a mortgage.
Yeah.
Which you have so many hopes and dreams riding on that.
We do.
And I think it's just such a great idea to invest in real, like I just could go on and on about it, but I did it, right? So it's easy for me to say in hindsight I did it, but it's just built a life that is just more meaningful for me. And I didn't ever want to live anywhere else. I think I live in the greatest part of the world.
Love
right?
that.
So you have to be where your feet are. And
So could you tell us, Leanne, how could women get into your career? Like what would be a first step if they want to pursue, maybe they fully don't understand lending or mortgages. Where would they start to do what you do?
Yeah, so it's actually a really cool career to look into if you're interested in helping people, because there's very low barrier to entry, right? I mentioned earlier, I came straight out of high school. I have no college degree.
So I love that part of her story. Like, we have preconceived ideas, and I think right now in 2025, 2026, some of academia is shifting, where we get our education or our professional development. We're no longer, you got to graduate from college, you got to do this 4 years, you got to do this, 2 more years. You clearly are a shining example of charting your own path.
I appreciate that. And I'm not unhappy to see some of the shift in academia. And not everybody's cut out for college. Nope. I think we've done a big disservice to kids for a long time and pushing everybody to
forced that path on a lot of people who were not ready and got themselves into financial issues because they weren't ready.
It's a big deal. Student loan debt's a big deal. Yeah, so very low barrier to entry. One would think you have to be exceptional at math. I'm here to tell you that is not true.
That is what I think. Hence, I'm not in that career.
It's an intimidating process, right?
It is. Having, of course, an understanding of math is helpful, but you do not have to be a math scholar. You just really, I think one of the biggest things that you have to have is a willingness to want to help people and to listen. It's so easy. If anybody out there listening is ever interested in pursuing this career, I would love an opportunity to talk to you.
That's awesome.
It is really cool. You get to change lives every day. I'm not exaggerating. Every single day.
Just meet a badass.
Lives.
You're just going to be a better person for having met with Leanne.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing I would say to anyone unequivocally is don't deselect yourself.
Yep.
Don't sit there and say, like, with all due respect, you're gonna connect with Leanne and then you're gonna hand her that bag of anxiety and this tangled mess of should I or shouldn't I, can I or can't I, why, blah, 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 and I got into scrape there, and don't do any of that. That's where you're going to relieve the burden, and ultimately they're going to find out Mr. Right or Mr. Right now. And you're going to help them through that. And they don't have to sit there and figure all that out. That's why they have you.
That's exactly why they have us. Yeah,
that's right.
We're a team there to support them. And if they check out our reviews, that's what they'll see is we try to make things easy.
5-star, baby.
Thank you.
Love
them
up.
Check out the reviews.
And I'm the perfect example of that. And I get to say that. At 20 years old, I can tell you I sold an SNL guy. And look, we know what SNL is and how they gave out money. But I'm just going to tell you,
we're dating ourselves using the term SNL.
Well, savings and loan. That they gave money out like candy water, and they ultimately paid for it. But the bottom line was, they didn't pay for it with me. Like, I paid every penny back. I paid it back early. And so my point to that is, if I had sat there and wrung my hands, I can't do this. I didn't graduate. I can't do that. I don't know what I'm going to make. And you could just, I'm not that way. I'm all action.
Yeah.
Right. Sin now and ask forgiveness later if that's what's needed.
Amen.
Yeah. So I think everyone out there shouldn't deselect themselves.
No, I think that's really great advice.
Do that.
Well, I think it's a good example of, we had Tony Lindmark before, and one of her business vitamins was, say yes to the hard things and really say yes to the unknowns. So I love the fact that this is going to be a new idea for some young person, who did not even consider themselves into the mortgage business.
I would love that. That would be so cool.
And so please come back to us and tell us how many, young women have scheduled coffee with Leanne.
I will.
Just do it, guys, girls.
Yeah.
Older individuals, maybe in their next career, right? Just don't deselect that either. Don't sit there and go, here's all the reasons I would never be able to do that. Or don't deselect that you couldn't enter into an on-ramping career of that.
Oh, love the word on-ramping.
Don't do it.
Yes. Leanne, where would we find you? What's an easy way? So it's Fairway Mortgage, and you're probably on all the socials. But for people who want to connect with you and have that cup of coffee, where can they find you?
So you can find us online, teamvimortgages.com.
So spell that out for people.
Team, TEAM, V as in victory, IA, mortgages, MORTGAGES.com.
Yes.
Whew, boy, I almost missed that one. Yeah. And if they Google me, Leanne Via, Leanne, last name Via. A lot of things will pop up. All good, hopefully.
So
If
LinkedIn,
not, let me
we
know.
can find you on LinkedIn.
Leanne Ann with an E.
Yeah.
Might I just say?
Yeah. Some of
yes.
us do it the right way.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Both E's. Both
know.
E's, baby.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
And you can find Leanne at the Salvation Army.
100%.
Yeah, I love your leadership. Serving with this type of caliber, Annie, is just it makes the board turn into a ministry service, and I don't think we could be a stronger board, honestly.
It's an amazing board.
Yeah.
Thanks to folks like you leading it and taking charge. It's an amazing endeavor, and they do so much good, and it's just humbling to be a part of it.
No, it is humbling, and thank you for that. But
Leanne does the best baskets ever.
I know. What was in
Salvation
this
Army
basket that
auction.
you bought?
One was a hiking one.
Oh, I missed that.
One was
I missed that.
One was a beach one.
I missed that one too.
Oh, please!
You're speaking my love language here, except for the coffee was my love language.
So I
no
grabbed
kidding.
Leanne the second I walk into the Hershey Lodge. She's like, "Oh my god, those are
Did you win
She's
them?
like, "Hi, Annie," and I was like,
Did you
I
win
said,
them?
Well, if I did win them, but I said to Leanne, either way, like if I don't, will you reconstruct
Recreate the
that,
basket.
recreate the baskets, and I'll do the amount that I bowed out on. And she said, "Oh yes, of course," because it's like for me, it's time or money, right? I could just never do what she did that way, and so happy ending, but shoe strut. Record
that
year.
was awesome.
Record
yeah,
year,
that was
yeah.
Because of those
yes, the caliber.
contributions,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's because
Yes.
of
Yes.
everyone's sitting
It's
in this
everyone.
room
Yeah,
right now,
absolutely.
and
And it's so many
that
people
is-
that we do and don't see or couldn't. It's everyone.
Yeah, that's a true testament to one of my favorite quotes is Helen Keller, "Alone we can do so little and together we can do so much."
amen.
And
Yeah.
shoe strut is 100%.
Shoot,
Like,
that's
that
all.
is-
Yeah, that's
Oh,
blowing out through
Totally
every
fun.
barrier we have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Leanne, what a joy to talk to you today as we head into the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas. We've been excited. These episodes are really speaking to people in new and different ways, and I think really throwing out snippets of hope and encouragement. And so for young people considering what their first career would be, or the on-rampers that are coming off of raising children and coming back into the workplace, or maybe the second careerist who are retiring young, I hope you get a lot of connections and
Thank
reach outs,
you.
and you're going to have to come back and
I'd
report
love
on that
to.
for us.
Yeah, and anybody looking to buy or refinance a home.
Well, that
That's-
too.
let's
That
do
look
too.
up
that, too.
Leanne. You will not regret
Do
it.
that. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Leanne, thank you for sharing your heart and your story. Annie, we're kind of on a roll.
Unbelievable.
All right.
I'm so inspired.
Have a high gear day, everyone. Thanks for listening. It's our desire that these stories will bring energy, ideas, and fresh thinking that you can use today. Subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Instagram, and have a high gear day.